Hey friends, it's Megan and it is time to wrap up my Harry Potter week on my channel. So this video is just even more Harry Potter names because I couldn't possibly fit them into 6 videos, right? Truly a lot of these names I just really wanted to talk about and they didn't fit any categories I was coming up with, so I've just got 25 extra character names for you. And even that I had to limit myself to 25. I do have in the description box down below a playlist with all my Harry Potter videos in case you missed any. I encourage you to check that out and of course subscribe to my channel. So yeah, 25 more characters. I'm just going to talk about them in alphabetical order and then the fun part, we'll pick our favorites at the end. So first up I have Amos, and that's for Amos Diggory. Amos is a Hebrew name that means carried by God. It's currently number 778 for men in the United States. I can totally see this name making a comeback. I've actually heard a lot of people, or I've read a lot of people talking about it in different baby name forums and blogs and things. Then I have Apolline for Apolline Delacour. Isn't that just so romantic and pretty, even without a beautiful French accent? I'm sorry, my French leaves a lot to be desired. Apolline is a French form of the name Apollonia, which goes back to Apollo, the Greek god. Apolline, like I said, I wish I had a great accent. It's so chic and kind of sophisticated sounding. Then I have Ariana for Ariana Dumbledore. This name can also be pronounced Ariana, Ariana. And it comes from the name Ariadne, which is a name that I featured a little bit ago in my Names of the Week series, and it means most holy. Next I have Archibald, and that is for Archibald Alderton. Archibald makes such a rich, cool character name. It's derived from a German name that means bold, brave, and genuine, so it has a great meaning. If I was writing a story, I'd have to have a character with this name because it's just fun to say and fun to talk about. Then I have Augusta for Augusta Longbottom, and it's a feminine form of the name Augustus or Augustus, so it could be Augusta as well, I suppose, and it means great. And Augusta is actually also a place name in Georgia where my great-grandmother was born. Then I've got Bertram for Bertram Aubrey. Bertram is a German name meaning bright raven. I absolutely think that's the coolest meaning. And Bertram's another one that's got a very distinguished sound to it. Next is Broderick for Broderick Bode, and Broderick is a surname. It's a Norse name meaning brotherly, another great meaning. Barely in the top 1,000. It's currently number 998 in the United States for men. And I straight away think of Matthew Broderick, the actor, when I hear this name. Then I've got Caradoc. I think this is a cool name. Caradoc Dearborn is the character. It's a variation of Caradoc with a G at the end instead of a C. It's a Welsh name that means beloved or affection. So many Welsh names have such lovely meanings, and this is actually a name that goes back to Arthurian legend. Next I've got Carlotta for Carlotta Pinkstone. Carlotta is Italian. It's a variation of the name Charlotte, which people are loving. It means free man. Carlotta's just got like that extra little exotic, beautiful flair to it, and it reminds me of the Phantom of the Opera as well. Then I have Celestina for Celestina Warbeck, and Celestina has such a magical, lovely sound. It's Italian and Spanish. It's a variation of the name Celeste, and it means celestial or heavenly, beautiful meaning, and absolutely a perfect name for this series. Then I have Charity for Charity Burbage. Charity is a word name, a virtue name, very popular amongst early settlers in the United States and Puritans. A really underused virtue name if you're looking for a virtue name that isn't too popular. It's barely in the top 1,000. It's number 995 for girls in the US. Then I have Cornelius for Cornelius Fudge. How fun is that last name? Cornelius is Latin meaning horn, which is interesting because when I hear Cornelius, I think of cornucopia, which is kind of shaped like a horn. I don't know. I always liked Cordelia and Cornelia, but Cornelius is fun, but not quite, like, I don't love it, if that makes sense. I've also heard this name pronounced Cornelius, depending where you're from. 13 on my list, I have Daphne, and that's for Daphne Greengrass. Daphne Greengrass just sounds like a jolly person, someone you'd want to be friends with. Daphne is a Greek name meaning laurel tree, and it's currently number 397 in popularity. Then we have Greta for Greta Catchlove. Greta is German, and it comes from names like Marguerite or Margarita, meaning pearl, and it's currently number 595 for girls in the US. Next, I have Griselda for Griselda Marchbanks. Griselda is a German name, and when you break it down, it means gray battle, so it may mean like a gray fighter or gray warrior. It is often used in so many fairy tales for names of like witches and darker characters. I actually know someone, I have like a mutual friend, we have a mutual friend in common with this name who's, I think she's probably around 30 years old, so I think that's kind of interesting. I'd love to like corner her at a party and ask her about her name someday. Then I've got Gwendolyn for Gwendolyn Morgan. Gwendolyn is a beautiful Welsh name meaning white ring and fair and blessed. I'm telling you, Welsh names have some lovely meanings. Gwendolyn is another name associated with Arthurian legend. I love that you can get beautiful nicknames like Winnie and Win and Wendy out of it. Of course you can get Gwen, but I'm a sucker for those W names right now. Next on my list is another beautiful name, and that's Honoria, and this is for Honoria Nutcombe. Honoria is a Latin name meaning woman of honor or just honor. It's so pretty and underused. I do prefer Honora, but I think Honoria is so fabulous and grand, and somebody used this name. Then I've got Mirabella for Mirabella Plunkett. It's an Italian variation of the name Mirabelle, meaning wonderful, great meaning, great way to get Bella if you love like names like Isabella, because Mirabella is not even in the top 1,000, so it would make a wonderful alternative there. Number 19, I have Neville for Neville Longbottom. I love this character. He didn't make my top favorite boys' names because I don't love the name Neville, but I found a way to squeeze him into one of these videos because I do like the character. Neville is French, and it comes from an English surname meaning new town. Next I have Petunia for Petunia Dursley. Petunia is an English flower name, not nearly as popular as other flower names. I do think it's kind of fun to say. It'd be fun to name like a little pixie or something. Then I have Orla for Orla Quirrell, and Orla is an anglicized, this is an anglicized spelling of an Irish name meaning golden princess. How beautiful is that meaning? I think that's gorgeous. Next we have Phineas for Phineas Black, and I've seen lots of name lovers loving this name lately. I think it's a cool way to get the nickname Finn, which I adore. Phineas has both Hebrew and Greek roots meaning oracle or mouth of brass. Next is Pius for Pius Thicknesse. Pius is a Latin name meaning being pious or dutiful. Many popes have had this name, and this name just sounds so fitting for this series. Then we've got Tiberius for Tiberius Ogden. I think that name is so fabulous together, Tiberius Ogden. It's Latin meaning of the Tiber. I could see this name coming back, and I know that sounds like a little bit of a stretch, but Titus is going up in the charts, so maybe Tiberius will follow. And then the last one I wanted to talk about is Wilhelmina, and that is for Wilhelmina Grubbly-Plank. And Wilhelmina is a German feminization of the name Wilhelm, meaning resolute protection. I love so many nicknames for this. I'm just going to throw out a few. Willa, Minnie, Mina. I could go on and on, but we're going to stop there, and now we're going to pick our favorites. So let's look at the boys' names first and pick our favorites. I talked about Amos, Archibald, Bertram, Broderick, Caradoc, Cornelius, Neville, Phineas, Pius, and Tiberius. I think all of these are such wonderful, rich, juicy character names. My favorite in the bunch is probably Phineas, just because I love that Finn sound. I don't think I'd ever use it. I like other Finn names more, but that's my choice. Comment below, let me know your favorites. I do write these names down below too in case you missed them. Okay, we had a few more girls on the list, so let's review their names real quick. I had Apolline, Ariana, Augusta, Carlotta, Celestina, Charity, Daphne, Greta, Griselda, Gwendolyn, Honoria, Mirabella, Petunia, Orla, and Wilhelmina. I don't think I like any of them quite enough to use them. Gwendolyn is definitely my favorite though, but I do have a lot of love for Wilhelmina and Celestina. So definitely comment below, let me know your favorite names from this list, any other Harry Potter names that you love. Thank you guys so much for watching this week. Have a wonderful, magical day. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye. Archibald I can't say that name. Archibald for Archibald can't say his name. for Archibald Alderton. And this makes such a fun character name. Oh, I just got it right. Archibald Alderton. I thought I'd have no bloopers. Too much eyeliner? Then I have Charity for Charity. Gwendolyn is definitely my... oh, great.